Yesterday we talked about this beautiful invitation for us to abide in God. If God's the chair, then we're supposed to abide in Him. That's what John chapter 15 tells all of us. And of course we know the truth of not only John 15, but we know the truth of Luke 15. That oftentimes we get up, that we leave communion with the Lord. Just like the younger son in the story of the prodigal son. We all get up and we leave communion with God. And yesterday, I encouraged you to pray with, what are the things in life that pull you out the chair? What are the things that pull you out of communion with God? For some of us, it's relationships or circumstances, having a bad day, or that person who gets on your nerves. But for some of us, it's not the things of the outside that pull us out of communion, but maybe things from within our own hearts that pull us out of communion. Maybe it's ways of thinking. We think about ourselves in a certain way. We think about God in a certain way. And maybe some of those thought patterns have been generated by things that have happened in life, memories. And because of the circumstances of our life, some of them perhaps unfortunate, some of us can look at ourselves in such a way, and maybe that's what pulls us out of communion. I gotta be honest with you, I think if we hang in this thing called prayer long enough, what most of us are gonna find is that at some point God's love, which is beautiful and awesome and full of grace and peace, is gonna expand in our hearts. And as God's love expands in our hearts, God's love is gonna eventually touch everything in our hearts. And so some of those places in our hearts that might be wounded or hurting or maybe filled with pain, as God's love grows, it'll touch those places in our hearts. And oftentimes what may be a part of a real committed spiritual relationship with the Lord, a real committed prayer life, are memories or things that we just wish would go away. There's things maybe in our past, habits, or maybe events that I just wish would go away. And as they pop up in prayer, a lot of times we automatically think they're distractions, or when they pop up in prayer, we just want those to go away. But a lot of us know that things pop up a lot in our prayer life. It's a great movie called The Sixth Sense. It's an older movie. It's about a little boy who has the unfortunate experience of seeing ghosts at night. And every time the ghosts come at night, and they come frequently, he has only two responses. Either A, he runs away, terrified, or two, he just pretends they're not there. And none of those responses work. And every night the ghosts come, and every night he only has two responses: pretend they're not there or run away. As the movie unfolds, this situation comes to the knowledge of his mother. His mother brings him to a psychologist. In a stroke of brilliance, the psychologist asks the little boy, next time the ghosts come, ask them what they want. It's an odd question. It's a different spin on the situation. In fact, it's such an incredible question that the entire movie opens up with this dramatic drama and this really interesting conclusion. The movie aside, it's a stroke of brilliance what the psychologist asks them. Next time they come, ask them what they want. See, a lot of times what happens is when things pop up in our life, we act like the little boy in the movie. Either we run away from it, or we just pretend it's not there. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of times it's just not going to work in the spiritual life in prayer. Next time something pops up that just won't go away in your life, stop. And in the chair with the Lord, ask it what it wants. What's it trying to tell you? What's the memory trying to tell you? Why is God bringing it up? Or why does it keep popping up? That habit, that pattern that just won't go away, that you just wish would leave you. What's the pattern saying? What do you really want underneath the actions of sin or the habit? The important thing for us to do is to bring all things to God. There's nothing that you and I could possibly bring to prayer that would either surprise God, scandalize God, or overwhelm God. He is sovereign over all things, and you and I have nothing to be afraid of. My friends, the next time something pops up, just ask it what it wants. What's it trying to tell you? How is the Lord leading you in that? And as we pray today, I encourage you to pray with Psalm 139, verses 1 to 16, where we are reminded that God, who is sovereign, who made all things, knit us together in our mother's womb, and He knows everything about us. Next time something pops up, ask it what it wants and bring it to the Lord so that He might give us the truth, and that truth, I promise you, will set you free. God bless you.